So make it easier for him to see everybody. There he is right there.
No, I just want to thank all of you for coming. It's really a tribute to Maurice, who he was to all of us. I know he was really special to me. I'm sure he is to all of us. Well, that's good stories to share, I'm sure. I want to thank a few people. I want to thank Sean, the pro here at Rockwood, and his staff here to allow us to do this. It was really nice of them. It's hard to think you can get, people maybe in government or just anywhere to go along with something that you want to do, but they were so gracious in allowing us to do this. I mean, it wasn't an obstacle at all. And that's because of Gary. I don't know, he has got such an abundance of energy that, and I don't know if it's just that they thought, well, we'll just give in to him. But he really got it done, and thanks a lot for that. I want to acknowledge Maurice's wife, Judy, and son, Jaron Manning, and son-in-law, Justin. They're all here to share in this moment. He's a very special friend. I guess this is the best place to have something like this. Maurice played golf, more golf than anybody I know. He played golf from Pennsylvania up in the Northeast all the way to the West Coast, just everywhere. But he always told me this was the best place to play golf. We grew up. His mother would pull down here that old 57 Plymouth and throw us out of the car and leave us all day in the clubhouse right there. We'd drag them clubs over here and we'd make a day of it, wouldn't we? From daybreak till the sun went down. But just special that we got to do this. Gary had some things he wanted to. Y'all know how I feel about Maurice. Maurice knows how I feel, and it's hard for me to really put in the words. But I'm going to let Gary handle a few things. He had some letters and stuff he wanted to read from some other friends. And if anybody else has something they'd like to say, gosh, feel free. This is just a special time to acknowledge our friendship with us.
Did great. I've got to have notes. I do want to thank you for being out here. It's a great tribute to Maurice. To see this many people out here. I thought it was going to be colder than it is, but it's still kind of cool. And I appreciate you coming out here and braving the weather to celebrate today. I'll elaborate just a little bit about the meeting that took place. Was right down here at one of these picnic tables when Rick and I met with Sean. He's the pro here, and the lady Nancy. She's over all the golf courses. She has bosses, but she's the one that was representing the city when we met with them, and we asked them about putting a memorial for our friend. And a guy that went to school with Maurice, he was a little bit behind me. I never went to school with him. I played a lot of golf with him. Robert, he works for the city and has been there for probably close to 40 years working for the golf department. And he said, Gary, he said, that's going to be, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be tough to do, because they get requests all the time from people wanting to do something for their friends and family, and it's just going to be tough. I want to let you know that. And we sat down there with them. We asked them if we could do this, and they looked at each other and just almost immediately they said, okay. And I said, well, I want to ask you something. I said, there's a lot of places out here you could put it, but I'd like to put it on the first tee box. And they said, okay. It was. And then after it got erected, after it was mortared together, the next day we couldn't sit on it yet, or it was that afternoon, we couldn't sit on it for 24 hours, but Rick was here and I pulled up, and a guy was here in a golf cart. He works down here, his name's Jim, and when he pulled off, I spoke with him, said hi, and after he pulled off, he said, Rick told me, he told him, or asked him, he said, I don't know how y'all got this done. So I think really they just kind of sensed in our hearts how much we loved him. And everything just fell in place. I've got something I'd like to read to you. I've been told some of the guys said, don't get too long-winded, but this is not my part here now. This is Eddie Flory is a guy that went to school with us, and we've known all our lives, and he couldn't make it today, and so he sent something he asked for me to read. And at this time, I'd like to read what Eddie sent to me. It says, "Greetings from Morton, Illinois. So much of life and living, successful living, has been taught and learned on these 120 acres called Rockwood Golf Course. Did you know that distinguished architect Ralph Plummer's fingerprints are all over this place?" Does anybody know that? Only Eddie would know something like that. In the mid-60s, Maurice and I started playing on this field of dreams. We would play 36 holes in 5 hours or less, 4 to 5 times a week for 50 cents. This may have been the original ready golf. And for some of you that aren't golfing, I'll explain. If you're in a hurry because the guys are breathing down your neck behind you, you just hit when you're ready instead of taking turns and honors whoever hits farthest away. You just all hit when you get to your ball, or it might be the end of the day coming, the sun's going down, you play ready golf, you hurry. And Bart Haltom, the pro, would have to chase us away at noon. Maurice and I worked the tall grass around the course edges after we played, finding enough golf balls to sell for the next day's green fee. We never played without paying or trading balls for stubs from benevolent men leaving the course. We went into the lake on the back nine maybe 2 or 3 times. Snakes, mud, and sorry balls were not worth the risk or effort. I know that I could find balls better, but no one was better at the sales end than Maurice. Even at 13, he possessed, and yes, honed amazing interpersonal and speaking skills. Life skills that Maurice and we have learned together. Golf has order, both rules and formal and informal. Life does too. Learn them, know them, and use them. Golf teaches risk management and certainly has penalties for going off course. Mistakes can be costly. Be attentive, learn from every experience, and do not repeat our errors. Golf teaches service to others, etiquette and manners. Repair your own divots. Repair others' divots for those behind. Tend the pin even if it's not your turn. Some of you guys need to listen to this.
Why is he looking at you, Rick?
Golf starts with a good grip, stance, and swing. No laughing. We try. Golf teaches leadership. Course management is so important, and as we move through the terrain of life, we must manage around hazards and sand traps. Golf illustrates that performance is rewarded. Metrics matter. Math skills matter. Golf teaches that one must adapt to changes in the environment. Winds of time shift, sometimes in your face, other times from your back. You do not control certain factors, deal with them. Golf teaches one to know their partner's strengths and weaknesses, and the same applies to your competitors. How so true this is in life. Golf teaches that the best place to be is in the short grass, and transparency is well regarded. Stay out of the weeds in life also. Golf teaches how to handle adversity, as a nice shot may end up in trouble. You learn to overcome this unfairness and to scramble to score well, no whining. Golf teaches humility and mental toughness. We may not win every round, we may run out of holes, but we never lose. Tomorrow we come back stronger, smarter, and successful. Maurice was a student of golf and life. He was also a teacher. He was successful in golf and very much so in life. And Eddie doesn't elaborate on this. He speaks of in 1984, he went to Scotland. He played, I guess it's the oldest course in the world. He played St. Andrews. He says, in 1984, I was on a tee box and noticed a nondescript small pile of stones over to the side. It seemed to be out of place and a nuisance to the grounds crew. I asked the caddy, what is that? He stated that that is the original tee marker that is over 400 years old. I have gazed at this marker that you are gathered around today, and I have sat on this marker. I wonder if a time, many, many years from today, someone asked you who this man with such a remarkable memorial was. Maurice Lynch is our great friend and my brother. I encourage all to share Maurice and this remembrance of him with our children, our grandchildren, so generations to come will know something of this son of Northside and why we are here today. May God bless the Maurice Lynch family and family of friends. Ed Florida.